funny, right? There are three island groups in the Philippines. I know. Okay, so these are the Luzon. These are Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And some people got their name from three islands. So if you see someone, if you happen to know a Filipino whose name is Luz Minda, now you know that the name came from the three island groups of the Philippines: Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so this is it. This is Luz Viminda. The one in blue is Luzon, the biggest. The one in the middle is colored yellow. That's Visayas. And Mindanao is the one colored red. Not because of the fighting or the bombings in Mindanao, but it's just the colors of the Philippines. It just happened that it's red. They colored Mindanao red. Okay? So that's that. Another question. How many languages are being spoken in the Philippines? Do you know how many languages are being spoken in the Philippines? Any idea? Write it in the chat box if you have a guess. And I would also like to know how you guys feel. Oh, is it because of the number of islands that we have? Yeah, it could be. It's a good guess. Thank you. But how about the others? You want to try? Just answer it a little bit. I mean, just
I
guess.
know Spanish is quite widely spoken there. Um,
You're right.
eight.
Some parts of Philippines, only it
I
could
don't
be.
know.
Eden was saying 198 to 200. Actually, you are right. Eden, because the languages spoken in the Philippines is between 120 to 187 languages, and that still depends on method of classification because there are different methods of classification. So can you imagine a country with 120 to 187 languages? And we know for sure that language or communication is one of the best thing that could unite a certain country. In the Philippines, we have this number of languages, but still we can say that with that number of languages, we can say that we are still considered full, right? I cannot imagine a country having about 187 languages and they live together. You see, but
Hmm.
yeah, that's one thing that I am proud about. But anyway, what is the official and national language of the Philippines? Anyone knows? Official and national language of the Philippines. Although we have 120 to 187, in fact, up to 200 languages in the Philippines. Tagalog, that's a good
No,
guess.
no, no.
That's a good guess. Yes, they would usually say it's Tagalog, but the official and the national language of the Philippines is Filipino. Okay, it's okay. Now I will explain that to you. Actually, Tagalog is Eden can answer this, right? Those people in Luzon, okay, mostly from Luzon speaks Tagalog. That is their language. Okay, and most people will say that Filipino is Tagalog, but really not. There is a conglomeration of some of the different words from the different languages in Philippines. So it is not just Tagalog. Tagalog is just part of the Filipino language. Okay, mostly are from Tagalog, but
What
not
is that?
anymore.
Could I
Is that
say
like,
that
hmm.
it's kind of
Yes.
weird? It's kind of weird when you
No, it is still considered a language, Eden.
okay, okay.
Yes. Tagalog is a language together with all the other languages like Visaya, Ilonggo, and all that. They are all dialect.
Okay.
Okay, and some part, some words are dialect
the
I think one open that. So all this put together with Filipino language. Okay, what right?
mm,
Okay, call from the Philippines. How do you call the people from the Philippines? Anyone?
Filipino Filipinos.
Filipino. Yes, we call them Filipino. That's the Hispanized way of calling us. Okay, but we Filipinos, we prefer yes, Filipino with letter F as well for people as well as language. But the use of F is a Hispanized or an anglicized way of referring to both the people and the language of the Philippines. So you can also say Filipino for male alone, and you can say Filipina for female. But both male and female can be called Filipino. Okay? But we here in the Philippines, we like called Pilipino. We are Filipino with letter P, and if you want the short version, you can call us. So you can say my grandma is Pinoy.
Yeah, Pinoy.
Yes, that's the colloquial version for Filipino. Okay, but you can never use Pinoy to describe our language. Pinoy is only for people. For language, we can always say Filipino. Now, Pinoy could be for male, and you can say Pinay for female. Okay, so I am Pinay. Okay, now for the male ones, but of course, generally, you can just call us Pinoy. Okay, so Eden and I, we are Pinoy. Okay, now here, look at this. This is an American music called Black Eyed Peas or Black Eyed Peas. I think I made a mistake here. Black Peas.
Black, yeah, the black peas,
Which one? Which one? First, second, third, fourth?
the peas.
Yes. Know anyone here who is from the Philippines?
Maybe 3D.
Letter A, letter C.
Honestly, I can't see it. I have vision problems, so I don't know.
You wouldn't
So
know. Okay. Anyway, sorry, that is letter C. That's letter C. This guy here, the one with the hair standing on top, the one wearing brown. Okay, his name is Apple the Up, and he is from Luzon of the Philippines. Okay, he's actually acting as one of the judges in one of the singing competitions here in Philippines. All right, here are other famous singers from Philippines. You know that there's so many singers from Philippines who perform internationally. Okay, so we have one, Lea Mesalonga, who perform in Miss Saigon and Les Miserables. And then we also have Cherry Simpenko, who is now Iris because she actually changed her gender. And we have Freddie Aguilar.
um,
I'm sure you know this anak, right? Anak has been translated 26 in 26 languages. And Malaysia, they have their own version of anak. How about Indonesia and other countries? Do you guys have translation of this song? I hope you tell me. And then this one, Nel Pineda is also lead singer of an American rock band called Journey. So these are just some of the few who are performing in the um international scenario. Okay. Now here, number 7, who is the president of the Philippines? Please, I hope you guys know
oh,
who. Who is that?
ah,
Okay, letter D, Rodrigo R. Duterte. And his complete
Rodrigo
name,
Castro.
yes, Rodrigo Roa Duterte. And he is from Mindanao. So I'm very proud that our president now in the Philippines is from Mindanao, specifically from Davao City. I'm not very sure if Eden is a fan of the president, but anything about it, Eden, right? He is our president. So, ladies and gentlemen, he is our
If you
president
don't have Biden.
right now. Sorry.
I said, just be thankful you don't have Biden.
Okay. All right. Anyway, what is the name of this famous boxer from the Philippines? Do you know him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who said that? Yes, letter B. His name is Emmanuel Manny Pacman Pacquiao. People call him Pacman. Pacman. Short for Manny Pacquiao. Yes, and he is
Yeah.
famous and he is from Philippines. And by the way, guys, he is in the same kampong with me. Same kampong.
Mm.
Yeah, same kampong with me. We are in the same place, same village. Yes, we are in the same village.
Mm.
So yeah, I
Which is-
am. No la, I got it from Indonesia. I wanted to say kampong so that you will understand. Yeah. Saya boleh cakap bahasa Melayu. Tapi sikit je. Sikit. Sikit-sikit lah. Okay, so same with me, this Manny Pacquiao. And this one is the other boxers from the Philippines. So here on your right is the Filipino of it into Asia. Okay, so he was the first in Asia. His name is Francisco Gilead Villa of the Philippines. And the other one on your right is Nonito. Nonito is also famous also into and boxing. Those are the or I just not everyone is in boxing, but Filipinos love to watch play and they well, there are here, especially in my city in General Santos. There are many who would like to become famous boxers someday, and so they train a lot. So our Manny Pacquiao here is now a senator of the Philippines. He is at the same time a businessman, an actor, a professional basketball player, and he can play guitar. He is a very simple person
Wow.
that during his free time he plays guitar and sing. Yes,
Wow.
Phil?
That's it. No, I was just saying, thank you.
Yeah.
I would also like to add that Filipinos are very proud to Manny Pacquiao that when there is a game in SM Las Vegas, everybody is watching in TV or television or and there is no recorded crime rate when
Yes,
Manny Pacquiao's time is running, like when he is playing. There is no any crime rate.
yeah, I'd like to add that too. Thank you very much, Eden. There is
Yes.
no crime rate. There is no crime rate or zero crime rate in Philippines when Manny Pacquiao is playing because everybody is glued on TV, on a big screen. Everybody will stop and watch him. So that's how we support him.
And that is consistent
That's
in
great.
his every game, not just hit one game or two games, like every game. That's how it works.
Correct. Correct. Okay, so this is the location of the Philippines. We are located in Southeast Asia, and our neighboring countries are China. We have Taipei, one that is closest to the top or to the northernmost top of the Philippines, and then we have Vietnam as well. At the side, we have Malaysia. We have Indonesia, and then we also have yeah, Manado is part of Indonesia, right? So that's Indonesia over
Yeah.
there. Yeah, and we also have on the other is the Philippine Sea. So it's quite open here. That's why most of the in this part where the Philippine Sea can be seen, most of the people there are experiencing typhoons all the time because they always pass through or pass through there. So they are experiencing them. Sad for them. But despite that, these people are happy. I will tell you later on. I will tell you about the festivities of the Philippines. So before that, who discovered the film?
Spanish.
And which one now? Letter A, letter B, letter C, letter D. King after Spain, Ferdinand Magellan.
King.
So sorry to tell you, Phil, that it wasn't King Philip, but it is the Portuguese. But he was who named the Philippines after Philip the Spain. So Philippines named after second of Spain, but it was Ferdinand Magellan who actually covered the Philippines. Okay,
I knew,
right. So this
I
is
knew it
him.
was named after King Philip, but
Yes, Phil.
I've said I knew it was named after King Philip, but I thought that it was because it was the
It's
like it was because it was
okay.
discovered by these people, but I was wrong. Okay, so
Thank you, Phil. I'm glad that you know that our country is named after King Philip II of Spain. All right, so Magellan came to the Philippines, but unfortunately, in one of their encounters of the people in Cebu, he was killed by this guy named Lapu-Lapu. That's why you can see this statue in Cebu City. Okay, you see this in memory of Lapu-Lapu, adto from Mactan in Cebu, in Visayas. Okay, so he is considered as a modern hero from Philippines because of his resistance to the Spanish colonization. Right, so if you go to Cebu City, one day if you decide to come to the Philippines, or maybe you've been to Philippines before and you have not been to Cebu, go to Cebu, please look for this one. You would know more about him. So that's Lapu-Lapu. Right. The capital of the Philippines. I'm supposed to actually ask a question, but it's already showing the
just
answer. Manila, where Eden is. Eden is in Manila, particularly in Luzon. Manila is a totally different city, but it's part of Metro Manila. She is in Quezon City right now, but Manila is the capital of the Philippines. So this is Manila. All right, now let me talk about our flag before I quickly go. I mean, quickly talk about our flag before I go to Mindanao. So our flag stands for the aspiration ideals of the Filipinos. This is what we want. So we have three stars over there representing the islands, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. White represents liberty. We want to be free, equal, brotherhood. Then blue stands for freedom. Okay, justice, and red for courage and patriotism. Okay, and the sun over there is representing freedom, liberty, and sovereignty. And the eight rays of the sun represents the region who conducted the revolt or who started fighting against the Spain. So this flag was raised in Camp Cavite during our independence on 12. Okay.
yeah.
So other facts of the Philippines, I'll do it very quickly. So this is a country where Christians, there are Christians. Okay, 80% of the Filipino population is Roman Catholic. Then also 52 million people in the Philippines speaks English, and that makes us the fifth largest English speaking nation in the world. Okay, next to US, India, Pakistan, and the UK. And also, it is the 13th most populous country in the world. Okay, it's a home to 108 million people and still counting because that number is in 2018. Now it's 2021. Like I said, Filipino loves basketball and boxing. There are so many things to see in the Philippines. We are home to 6 UNESCO sites. We have the Tubataha Reef. We have Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National in Palawan. And then we also have this. I was talking to Anna just now, and I said that you can find this in Ubud in Bali. Right? I've been to Ubud, Bali in Indonesia, but this is one in the Philippines. It's called Banawi Rice Terraces, and this is one of the UNESCO site. Okay. And
Okay.
then we also have the Mount Hamigitan, where you can see pygmy forest, and it's a home to endangered species of fauna and flora here in Mindanao. That's from Mindanao. And then this one is another UNESCO heritage found in Luzon. It's called Vegan, where you can find Spanish architecture, which is also a fusion of Europe, China, and other places in the Philippines. It's a beautiful place that you should go. And the sixth one is that we have four Baruch churches here in the Philippines. And this is one, I took this myself when I went to Ilocos Sur. All right. There are other places to go in Philippines like Bohol. This is Chocolate Hills. It's called Chocolate Hills because it looks like the Kisses chocolate. And if you have this in Visayas, we also have this in the other part of Visayas. It's a jagged mountain, and that's me on top of it enjoying my time. Cool breeze of the mountain. This one is one of the in the Philippines. It's a perfect cone-shaped volcano, and it's located in Visayas. And then this one in Mindanao, the highest peak in the Philippines. The highest mountain is found in Mindanao. It's called Mount Apo. And of course, when Filipino or when other people talk about Philippines, they only think of Boracay. Please, Philippines is not just about Boracay. This is just Boracay, but there are many other places to go. Like this one, this is found in Siargao, in Mindanao. This is found in Mindanao. Even Boracay is in Mindanao. Okay, this one is in Mindanao. Oh, sorry, Mindanao. Boracay is in. Sorry, Boracay is in Visayas. Okay, this is from Bohol, the smallest primate. Okay, and then you
Mm-hmm.
have this one as well, the friendly whale shark. People can swim with it, and this is found in Visayas. Okay, you can go and check this out. It's very friendly. And long snakes, king cobra, and python can be found in the Philippines as well. Then we in the Philippines celebrate. There are lots of celebrations here. We have Pinagbenga or the Flower Festival in Baguio in the northern part of the Philippines, Luzon. Then we also have the Mascara. This is from Visayas. And this one is also another festival in Cebu called Senulog. And then this one is in Davao from Mindanao. This is called Kadawan Festival to celebrate the good harvest of the people in Mindanao. And then this one is from my very own city, Tuna Festival, because we are known to be the tuna capital of the Philippines. That is my city. So now let's go to Mindanao, the land of promise. So Mindanao is comprised of region 9, 10, 11, and 12. Four regions in Mindanao. This is the lower part of the Philippines. Okay, and there are three kinds of people living here. We call them tribe people of Mindanao. We have Christians, we have Lumads, and the Muslims. And I am proud to say that we actually live in harmony, even we have some skirmishes here in the Philippines or in Mindanao. Okay, so we represent diversity, right? So we have the Maranao. Okay, these are the Maranao people. They are the original settlers in Mindanao. And then there are about 13 Islamized ethno-linguistic groups of Mindanao. 13 in Mindanao alone. There are 13 ethno-linguistic groups here. Okay, you can find them in Sulu, Palawan, and